If you're listening to this, so is he. We both know this, but don't be afraid. Keep listening. I'm the only one who can help you now. There's no guessing how it happened. It probably came off of an old arcade machine that had been refurbished and stuck into an arcade somewhere. Whether you were a worker or a visitor looking for one last game to play, you took notice of the pretty golden princess on the side of the cabinet and plopped a token in. And little did you know, but you had already sealed your fate. At first, the game seems like a normal maze crawler. You guide a princess with a lamp or a sword through a dark castle, fighting off strange rabbit-like entities. Then the game glitches for a second. There's a rabbit entity that you cannot fight, stuck glued to the screen. It disappears, but it returns, and eventually, it doesn't leave at all. At one point, the rabbit starts inching closer to your character. You can't move away, he's following at the same distance. Your vision tunnels as he gets closer, and then the rabbit makes contact. And for a split second, he's there, before you. You see his face taking up the arcade screen, a hideous, bug-eyed rabbit with a wide grin. He waves, and then his hand shoves through the glass and grabs you. It feels like he's reaching right through your chest. And then you blink, and it's over. You're fine. The rabbit is gone, and the game screen reads, "Game over." Nobody else noticed what happened, and for a second you think you're fine. You gather yourself and you leave, and you see him in the parking lot, in your car, in your house, getting closer and closer until it's practically sitting in your lap as you're sitting on the couch. But the thing is, he's not there. He's already inside. You are being possessed by him, and you're not getting rid of him easily. His name is... we'll call him Glitchtrap. And right now he is resting his chin on your shoulder, watching what you watch and listening to what you hear. Metaphorically, of course. But what isn't metaphorical is that you're in a very precarious situation. I've seen it before, so let me warn you about what he's going to do, and what you can do to survive him. Because yes, as goofy as he looks, as funky as this bunny is, he can kill you. But he probably won't. At first. Because he needs your body intact. And the only reason he'd go and off you is if he's already got someone new biting the hook. Glitchtrap is fully capable of hurting you, and he will do so by making you hurt yourself. Disfigurement, torture. It starts with non-subtle threats, sending you a box of chocolates with a note threatening that if you don't obey, the next one might be hiding something sharp in the sweets, and you'll eat them all up. Making you look up or learn about graphic ways that a human body can contort. But the thing is, as sadistic as Glitchtrap is, and he enjoys what he does, he won't hurt you if you play along. Though that's only because you can't wield a knife with broken fingers. Remember, obedient bunnies don't die. But if you try to fight too hard, he might decide that you're more of a liability than anything, and once he finds an alternate, your time is up. There was this guy named Jeremy who didn't want to play along. He kept resisting, and when time came to commit to the bit, he got cold feet. And since there was another available applicant on the line, Glitchtrap decided to leave a lasting mark and cut Jeremy loose. And cut loose most of the skin from his face as well. If he didn't want to be his mask, he wouldn't have one at all. I don't think Jeremy made it. Otherwise, Glitchtrap is quite the charmer. Really go along with him and you'll find that he can be very charismatic and awful convincing. Hey, if him pretending to be a goofball is enough to make you bend at the knee, he'll do it. He is the perfect reflection of whatever he needs to be. He likes cartoons, he likes Freddy's, he likes you exploring Freddy's and letting him see all the people. He likes to dance and will even teach you every move you'll need to know to get the act down. And the closer you get to what he wants, the safer you'll be and the happier he'll be. Because he doesn't really want to hurt you. He needs you. He wants you to don his bunny persona and stand alongside him. You will be his new Vanny. Who's Vanny? That's not important. The point is, play along unless you want to risk breaking the rules, and if you do, expect him to start breaking bones. Glitchtrap may still distribute punishments if you fail in your tasks, Depending on how subservient you are and the level of your failure, this can range anywhere from gentle reminders of how easily he can make you dance, to making you hold your hand less than an inch above a very hot stove. Or even worse. Best to not fail too much. Backstabbing may result in termination. Only bad bunnies backstab. But I've said enough about the danger involved. You're going to need to know how to appease Glitchtrap long enough to avoid an early grave. So, let's make you into the best little follower you can be. First up, you'll need a costume. Now, due to unfortunate circumstances, good quality Bonnie costumes are hard to scare up these days. So to get the perfect aesthetic, you're going to have to make your own. You can even order the fabric online. So let's discuss making a suit. Remember, a good bunny is a disguised bunny, which means your design should cover you head to toe. It doesn't have to be skin tight, but it should cover all skin and not have any visible gaps. Gloves, bunny feet. Try to get a boot that looks like a bunny foot. If it's too soft or costumey, it's going to get waterlogged on your excursions and start dragging. You need a firm sole. It has to be a bunny suit too. You can decide on the color and most of the design. The important part is that it's appealing enough to children and uncomfortable enough to dissuade any curious adults. Creepy cute, and totally covered head to toe. Tail is encouraged, squeaker not required. But the most important part of the costume is the mask. A proper mask isn't just protecting you, it's your window into the eyes of Glitchtrap. That is, it's his eyes through you. 1. And 2, if you make a fancy schmancy high-tech one, it'll be your eyes through darkness, heat signals, and in certain locations, might be your way through a few locked doors. So, see, the mask is just a mask, but there is this follower who, at Glitchtrap's instructions, made one with night vision lenses and the ability to connect with the security system of the Freddy's location where she was setting up shop. There's 2 of those masks floating around, and if you find one, it's your goal to find one. They have to be out there somewhere, but unfortunately chances of you getting your hands on it and then being able to set it up to another security system is pretty unlikely. Unless, wait, are you a technician? Only a technician could really do this. So your mask might not be as fancy. At the very least, you should trick it out with one-way eyes so no one can see yours, lenses that can cut down on the glare and help with the night vision, and most importantly, a voice modulator. Guess what? If someone can't see your face to identify you, they're going to try and use your voice. That would be, needless to say, not good. So what do? Well, you get a voice modulator that you can mount into your mask, maybe with some hot glue, and problem solved. There will be no way to pin down your identity then, unless you have like a distinct limp from Glitchy breaking your toes. So, note, get a modulator. What do you mean, how? How am I supposed to know? Just get one. Make sure that the mask connects with the head of the costume and that there's a neck guard to cover any available skin. You will also need a weapon of some sort. The most traditional is a kitchen knife, but fillet knives, baseball bats, and hammers can also work. I know pizza cutters have gotten pretty trendy. Glitchtrap doesn't care what weapon you use as long as it's effective and moderately messy. Speaking of suit care, a little blood spattering is fine if you can cover it up, but too much blood on your suit could lead to transfer and capture by the police. Because of this, it's best to frequently wash your suit or even replace it if it gets too grungy. And because of that, your bunny suit should either be dark brown to cover the stains or white so that it can be easily bleached. Also, keep your boots clean. Not just of blood, you don't want to know it's been on the floor of Freddy's. Now, you're probably wondering why on earth you'd be in the presence of blood. And that comes back to what Glitchtrap needs you for. He needs you to find a few special partygoers to be, well, killed. Glitchtrap hungers for blood, and as nice as it would be to have your head on the chopping block, he really wants this party to last a little longer than that. So you're going to become his accomplice, follower, puppet, his hands, and sometimes he moves them for you and sometimes he just wants you to do it. While Glitchtrap tends to gravitate towards children victims, like his rabbit predecessor before him, he also approves of adult targets if you feel more comfortable. He's reasonable in that aspect. Blood is blood. Sure, the agony filled by children is sweeter and more fulfilling, but Glitchtrap would like a willing participant this time, and may be willing to make a deal if it means this follower doesn't flip like the last one. Remember, It's kill or be killed for bunnies. You're probably wondering why, and the answer is that I don't know. But it's as natural to him as breathing is to you, so he must do it. So, how do you find a target? Well, if you've listened to the Fazbear Springlock Suit Training Tape number 5, Escorting Guests and Party Relocation, you're already set. But basically, you look for someone who's alone, who looks somewhat timid, and who you can easily coerce to follow you. On the flip side, you see anybody snooping around, you'll probably be able to lure them aside easily and take care of them, which you should. Because if someone finds you out, if you get caught, nobody's pinning it on the real rabbit, it'll fall solely on you. Now you know what you're here for. Now you're ready. Ready, set, not yet. You have to find a location first. Freddy's or Freddy adjacents are a must, and there's benefits to the various kinds of restaurants. Basically, your go-to is going to be the Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. It's a great place to set up shop because it's huge, usually very crowded, and most of the human staff have been replaced with staff bots, who are notoriously slow-witted. These brain-dead bots can barely recognize an order for a pepperoni pizza, let alone notice a few people disappearing. Also, due to the animatronics programming, both staff bots and the intimidating Glamrocks, they're supposed to recognize costume performers as other characters for replacement purposes. And with a little hacking on your part, courtesy of your best buddy Glitchtrap, you can easily make it so that the animatronics can't see you at all. Heck, if he gets deep enough inside their code, he can make them do whatever he wants. He could totally twist up their personalities, make them your little puppets. Imagine free access to the daycare with the moon on your strings. The Pizzaplex was a great choice. But I'm sure you've heard of the recent swaths of closures in various Pizzaplexes across the country. That one in Utah went south, a bunch of people went missing and fell in. And now all of the others are under a lot more scrutiny, and unfortunately, they're rehiring staff members. Human staff members. And that's not saying we can't take out a couple of adults, but that's going to raise suspicion and make your life more difficult. So while the Pizzaplex was a viable hunting ground, times change, and it might be safer to look somewhere else. There's also the new and improved Circus Baby's Pizza. People are used to kids disappearing at that place, so if one does, they'll be quick to blame the business instead of suspecting any outside intruders. The downside is that the animatronics there are aware and aggressive, and equally murderous. And they don't like people who encroach on their hunting grounds. Big Top Baby and Primetime Freddy are especially nasty and will rip you to shreds like a plush toy in no time flat. So you'll have to weigh your options. There's also Nedd Bear's Swinging Show. It's like a dinner theater place, except the dancers are animatronics and the dinner is mediocre. There's not going to be a lot of viable targets there, but hey, not a lot of witnesses either. And yes, that is swinging as in swing dance. It's not that fun. There's plenty of other small businesses you can hit as well, all good for a get-in, get-out job. But there is something they're missing out on at the Pizzaplex had, and that's enough space for you to stay in the business. See, at the Pizzaplex, you could find an abandoned office and just set up a little shelter to stay in, then crawl out at opportune times to prey on the helpless. But at places like Baby's and Nedd Bear's, you'll have to effectively sneak in, lie in wait, move your victim elsewhere or work very quickly, and then hide your victim in the nearest suit, and then leave out the back without getting caught. So unless you're sleeping behind the dumpster out back, there's a lot more driving around and being outside the building, where someone may see you. A bunny inside of a restaurant is only a little weird. One outside is a red flag. Remember, don't look like a red flag. And while Glitchtrap can corrupt security footage, what's the likelihood that you can hack a security system at a smaller business while trying to not get caught, not get killed by an angry clown, and not standing out like a sore thumb for being the only person at Nedd Bear's? If you want my opinion, you should drive out to one of the remaining Pizzaplexes and set up shop there. You can either sneak in then, or you can apply for a job. Despite them not hiring many human workers anymore, well, I guess that's changed now, as long as you can get a hold of a decent computer inside of the Pizzaplex, you can easily upload Glitchtrap, who will then promote you from the inside. And once you're supposed to be there, you're in the clear. Set up in a little room where you can sleep and change, somewhere out of the way and locked up. In fact, you'd do well to just block the doors and find a more subtle way in. Then suit up and settle in for the long haul. Otherwise, prepare to be in your car a lot, because if you're going to be hitting little businesses, you're going to have to be on the road quite a bit to keep from getting caught. No, Glitchtrap will not repay your gas expenses. I think that covers everything. Well, there is one more matter. Let's say you decide to put a stop to the party early. That is, you want to get Glitchtrap out of your head and in the recycle bin. That's a pretty tall order. There's no clever kids or pitiful puppets who can save you from that rabbit. He's not just a ghost. He's something much, much more foul, and he's buried deep in your soul. But let's for fun say that you're really going for it. You're going to try to get rid of Glitchtrap. There's really two ways to go about this. Option 1, finding another host. If you're able to offer up a decent alternative host to Glitchtrap, he may be willing to hop from you into this new body. But it'll have to be a tempting one. And you'll have to set up the scenario to get this new person possessed, either by uploading Glitchtrap into their computer, giving them a tainted game download, or spitting in their food enough times. Now, what happens to you following this may go one of two ways. If you were a subservient follower, Glitchtrap may decide that he still wants you around. In fact, this is likely the case, and will still want to keep you within arm's length. He will be able to repossess you, but you will be free for the most part. That is, at least, not having him breathe down your neck, though assume he will still need you. If for some reason he cannot possess you both and decides for one reason or another that he doesn't want you dead, that he may someday return to you, he may detach entirely and leave you with a nasty case of amnesia. You'll have big gaps in your memory, and you won't know why. Which will be trouble if the cops ever come looking. Better hope you were an effective cleanup person, because the new Vanny would gladly pin current crimes on the old one. Option 2 is much, much riskier. Basically, you would have to theoretically return to the scene of your possession, the arcade cabinet, and while resisting Glitchtrap's influence, you would have to play the game, nay, go inside the game, and confront Glitchtrap directly. And you may ask how you go into a game. Well, between your Glitchtrap tether and your mask, and your displaced soul being pushed out of your body, you can surely grab a hold and pull yourself through just as easily as Glitchtrap did. Or more likely, black out and hallucinate yourself a lot deeper than you are. Well, however you do this, the world inside of the arcade is a maze made out of pieces of the past. Sometimes it looks like a digital castle. Sometimes it's the broken pieces of Freddy's fractured past. Usually it's a corrupted version of the game you're playing, but things are always dragged along. Graves, ghosts, things repeating and replaying, false memories, fake mimicries. Glitchtrap himself is just a replication, but he learned from the best, so you better be on your guard, because one slip up and he'll make sure you'll never betray him again, through any means necessary. If you do succeed to somehow get the upper hand, somehow get control of the simulation, alone, then it's up to you what you do next. I would recommend against trying to do something physical to him, like trying to attack him with your own weapon, or making him small and smushing him under your hands or crushing him under your boot. That just won't work. This is a virus, for crying out loud. No, the better option is to make him a prison. Visualize a cell in your mind and use the game to seal him away. Compartmentalize him inside of you. Separate him from you, but keep him contained within you, where he can never get out again or hurt anyone else. That's the best way to do it. But just know that once you make an attempt on Glitchtrap's life, there's no going back. You will be painting a big target directly on your face in the shape of a mask that you'll carefully peel away. So, if you're going for it, make sure you're ready for the consequences. Remember, Jeremy. I'd rethink it while you still have a chance. Pacifying Glitchtrap guarantees survival as long as you play along and follow his rules. And speaking of rules and playing by them, I've got a fantastic idea. How about we play a little game? It's an easy one. I give you a hypothetical scenario, you roll a die a couple of times, and we see how you do. That way you can test all your bad decisions early, am I right? You'll need one die for this one, or an online dice roller. First, we'll need to make your costume. Now, I know I said it was your choice, but for fun, let's randomize you a bunny suit. We'll start with the color. Roll. If you roll a 1, your primary suit color is white. 2, your primary color is baby blue. 3, the primary color is yellow. 4, the primary color is pink. 5, the primary color is brown, and 6, your primary color is purple. Now let's roll on the patterns. If you roll a 1, you have a solid colored suit. 2, you have patches of other colors on your head and limbs. 3, you have vertical stripes all up and down your suit. 4, you're covered in polka dots. 5, you have paint smears all up your arms and around your face. 6, you ran out of material, so you stitched a pair of jeans in to replace the legs. And finally, accessories. You can roll twice if you want. Roll a 1, you have a big bow tie either in red, blue, or purple. I'll let you choose. 2, you have an eye patch. 3, you have comically large buck teeth. 4, you have a pair of plastic shades sewn on. Why did you do that? You know it's gotta be harder to see. 5, you have high-heeled snow bunny boots. 6, you have a sewn-on vest, either in purple with stars, orange with little carrots, or blue with Easter eggs. Alright, so now you know what you look like. Onto your weapon. You can either choose, or for giggles, you can roll on that too. If you decide to roll, 1, you have a kitchen knife. 2, you have a pizza cutter. 3, you have a baseball bat. 4, a croquet mallet. 5, a sack of doorknobs. Or 6, nothing. Work with what you find. Though I think you'll find that most of the time your hands will be empty. Time to start your follower journey, so here's the deal. You complete tasks for Glitchtrap. Every time you successfully complete a task for Glitchtrap, congratulations, you did well. But if you fail, well, things won't be pleasant. 1 failure is forgivable. 2 failures and Glitchtrap will begin to send threatening flowers and chocolates. 3 failures and Glitchtrap will start buying torture equipment. 4 failures and Glitchtrap breaks your fingers. 5 failures and Glitchtrap decides it's time to find a new follower and put his old one in a ditch. So in short, 5 failures and Glitchtrap will kill you. Got it? Good. Now, most of these scenarios are just going to take place at the Pizzaplex. Forgive me, there's a lot more to do there. You roll the die twice to figure out what event you're going to get. Roll the same event twice and you can continue from it or re-roll. But every 3 events, you will get the chance to decide if you want to try to get out, where you can choose to make an attempt to escape from Glitchtrap. Is it worth the risk? Well, that's for you to decide. Will you be an attentive follower or try to be a hero? If you roll a 2, event 2. Glitchtrap wants to get his claws dug into the Pizzaplex's animatronic band, the Glamrocks. Somehow, he managed to sabotage Glamrock Freddy's performance by setting off his safe mode, causing the show to stop abruptly and him to be wheeled off to parts and service. You have a window of 30 minutes where Glamrock Freddy will be in parts and service alone before a technician comes to repair him, which means it's time for you to get in there and hack him. Of course, you don't know anything about hacking, but it can't be that hard, right? Well, roll. If you roll a 1, you manage to get Freddy's plating open and stick a flash drive containing Glitchtrap's influence into a hidden USB port. Done and done. Easy. Success. If you rolled anything else, you accidentally turned off Freddy's safe mode. Oh dear. This means Freddy is now a real danger to you. If you want, you can stop now and take the loss. It'll be a failure though. But if you decide to try again, roll. If you roll a 1 or 2, success! You get the plates open and fit in the flash drive. Done. But if you roll a 6, you trigger something in Freddy, causing him to spring up and lash out. You're dead in 1 swipe. 3, 4, or 5, and Freddy is primed to go off, but still hasn't. Do you want to try one more time, or quit and take the failure while you're ahead? If you do try again, roll. 1, 2, or 3, and you've successfully managed to hack Freddy with the flash drive and can finally leave. And from now on, Freddy will be fully under your control. Whenever you need something, you can just ask him. He has no choice. But if you roll a 4, Freddy locks up, leaving you with no more chances. Failure. 5 and 6, and you get crunched in Freddy's jaws, and it's game over. That quickly it can happen. But better you than me, I'd say. Event number 3. You're sneaking around Roxy's raceway after hours, trying to look for some elevator that Glitchtrap is insistent has to be there. It isn't. When Roxy sees you. Now, Roxy has special eyes. She can see through walls, see through bots, and she can see through your cloaking. She calls you out.
Who's there? You can't outrun me!
Bolts after you. You run, but she's too fast. She'll be on you in seconds. With no other options, you spring into a go-kart and start to veer around the track. But Roxy could be anywhere. And there she is, right in front of you, trying to stop you. What do? Do you veer to the right, veer to the left, hit the brakes, or hit the nitrous? Choose. If you veer to the right, the go-kart starts to tumble over itself. You fall out and it falls head over heels down the track and smashes into Roxy. She's knocked through the wall and down into the basement, severely broken. Glitchtrap is extremely pleased. That Roxy would have been a real problem. Congrats! You successfully... Oh, wait. Yup, that's a blind Roxy now standing in the center of the atrium, screaming and crying and searching for you. Turns out you didn't deal with her that well after all. Ah, well, maybe next time, sport. Tell you what, it's not a success or a failure. But if you veer to the left, you end up hitting the curb and getting launched over the railing. You fall all the way down to the floor head first, landing the wrong way and snap. Yup, you're dead. Game over. If you hit your brakes, your cart comes to a complete stop. But you keep going. You fly out of the cart and right onto Roxy, who falls over. She's undamaged and you're able to get up and scurry away. But you have messed up her hair, and now she's out for blood. Roxy's going to be a real problem now. Good job! As funny as that was a failure. Finally, if you hit the nitrous, turns out to be a good call. The cart rockets into Roxy and boom, she's obliterated. Well, no, she's just pretty dinged up, especially the legs. You manage to control the cart long enough to get around the track and escape while Roxy will be in parts and service for a week at minimum. The Freddy technicians drag their feet. She's not going to be your problem for a while. Good job. And success. 4. You're a good little follower and you know what's going to happen if you don't bring in any results. So you have a brilliant idea. Or Glitchtrap does. The Daycare. If you could hack the daycare attendant, you wouldn't just have an accomplice who could do the work for you, but free reign of said daycare. It would be perfect. So right after closing, when the lights are still on, you sneak into the daycare. Thankfully, the sun cannot see you and it's busy cleaning up. You have a Faz wrench that's loaded with Glitchtrap's virus, and all you have to do is get it in the back of Sun's flat head. So how are we doing this? Do you 1. Kick over a tower of barrels and then jump on his back? 2. Make a big spill and then try to sneak up behind him? Or 3. Turn the lights off? If you kick over the barrels, he rushes over in a flurry of panic and begins trying to pick them up. You hop on his back and try to shove the Faz wrench in, except it turns out that the super neurotic Sun is a little jumpy. Roll. If you roll a 3 or 6, you actually do succeed and get the Faz wrench in. If you roll anything else, you find yourself getting suplexed against the side of the slide. You manage to limp away. Failure. If you decide to make the spill, you pour a bunch of paint all over the floor and then make some noise to lure Sun over. He's soon on his hands and knees scrubbing up the paint, muttering, "Clean up, clean up." You sidle in with the subtlety of a lamb and quickly shove the Faz wrench towards his head. Roll. If you roll a 1, 3, 5, or 6, you get the Faz wrench in. 2 or 4 and you thunk it against his head. He grabs it with an ow, and you sprint out of the daycare like the failure you are. You were right there, man! Finally, if you decide to turn the lights out, Sun switches into Moon. You expect this to make things easier. Moon is a lot more aggressive than Sun, but he's... Oh no. He can see you, can't he? Oops. Moon begins to chase you around the daycare. Well, this sucks. You better act fast. You climb to the top of the daycare structure. Do you 1. Try to jump out between the netting, or 2. Try to jump on Moon? If you try to jump through the netting, roll. 1 to 5 and you make it. A little banged up but alive, but a failure. 6 and you land on a table the wrong way, are severely injured, and are found by security the next day, and are hauled off somewhere where you ain't coming back from. If you try to jump on Moon, roll. Odds and it's a failure. You get thrown like a rag doll, but you tumble close enough to the doors that you make a break for it. Alive, but failure. 2 and 4, Moon suplexes you way harder than Sun would've and snaps your neck. Game over. Or if you get a 6, you somehow get the Faz wrench into his head socket. Okay, but let's say you get the Faz wrench in. That doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet, because you twist it and turn it, and you think you did it the right way. Which way? What were you supposed to do? Oh yeah, that's right, roll. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, success. Glitchtrap has now infected the daycare attendant, and there's another reluctant follower doing his dirty work. Now you can take a load off. If you roll a 4 or 5, alas, it did not work. You manage to escape though, and for your effort, Glitchtrap doesn't whip out a failure. But if you roll a 6, something goes terribly wrong. The daycare attendant twists up in pain, bends over backwards, crunches up, and for a second you think you might have broke him. But then he suddenly straightens up. His eyes are funny. They have, like, coil lights glowing behind them. Then he grabs you, and then he breaks you. Game over. Event 5. You've been spotted by a night guard, some crazy old man with something to prove. Desperate to get away, and it's daytime, and you don't have your weapon on hand, you climb into a vent and start to crawl. You go right, left, right, left, left again, right, sort of down a slope to the left, and lost him. Ha! Success! Well, no, not a success. You're totally lost now. Think really hard, and without rewinding this tape, try to remember the 8 directions you went in. Not in reverse, the way you came in. Think about it hard. Say it out loud, and maybe write it down. Done? Okay, here's the correct answer. Right, left, left, right, left. If you got all of them correct, congratulations, you were entirely successful. And not only that, you were able to slip out of the vents before the security guard was, got into his office, and stole a security badge. Glitchtrap is so proud of you that he does a happy jig. Only for your eyes, baby. Total success. If you got at least 6 correct, you mostly succeeded. At least you got out in a timely manner. I'll give you a success. If you got 1 to 5 correct, you wasted way too much time and got out of the vent right when the Pizzaplex was quieting down. Glitchy's not happy. That'll be a failure. But if you got none right, you get entirely lost in the vents and wind up at a dead end. You're about to back out when you hear an ominous clang, 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 and look up to see the biggest spider you've ever seen coming at you. That is a metal spider, a mini music man. You get in a fist fight with the thing, roll, even and you escape, but failed Glitchtrap still. Odd, and it gets the upper hand and slams its cymbals into you, and it's game over for good. The end. Event 6. Today's scheme is a little more devious than usual. You're going to spike some pizza with some sleeping medicine and hope to knock out the adults and lure away the children. Of course, you weren't the one who came up with a plan this good, but you're going to do it. So while the place is still open and the staff bots are circling around the kitchen, you sneak inside and start to prepare a pizza. Unfortunately, the only substance strong enough to cover up the taste of the sleeping medicine is going to be some of that grotesquely pizza-flavored Monty mystery mixed drink mix. Thinking nothing of it, you mix it in with the sauce to cover everything. But this was a bad call, because the moment that pizza starts to cook, you start hearing thump 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 thumping nearby, and by the time the short pizza timer is done, you hear,
I smell pizza! Pizza!
Oh no, it's Chica. She barges inside the kitchen with a crazed look and a hankering for some pizza. What do? Do you give up the pizza, or do you make a run for it? If you give her the pizza, well, that's it, the pizza's gone. And so is the medicine. At the very least, it knocks Cheek out for a while, but that's more so because she gorged herself more than the sleeping meds.
I'm stuffed. Nap time.
That was a failure. You'll be hearing about this later. If you decide to make a run for it, roll. 1 or 2 and Glamrock Chica catches up and tackles you. The pizza goes flying into the trash compactor and she goes after it. Well, that was a whole lot of... Do you press the button? If you don't, just walk away and deem it a failure. But if you do... Crunch. Looks like Chica might be out of commission for a while. Let's call that a success. If you roll a 3 or 4, you duck and dive and weave and make it out of the kitchen and to the elevator before Chica can catch up. You ride upstairs, sashay your way into the birthday party in the daycare, wait for the kids to stop screaming at your hideous costume, and then watch them all dig in. Fussy parents included. The mom mentioned making a complaint against you. Maybe you should do a little something about that. Success. But if you roll a 5 or 6, you trip over your big bunny feet and run right into a staff bot. The pizza slams back into you and smashes all into your suit. You spin around. Glamrock Chica is looking at you in a very hungry, deranged sort of way. Well, there's only 2 ways out of this. You're either going to be devoured alive by Glamrock Chica, or you're walking out of here and right into the back of a cop car with a public indecency charge after she eats your clothes off. It's the end of the line here either way. Game over. Event 7. Glitchtrap's getting restless. He wants results and you're not working fast enough. You need help. If only the staff bots weren't on your side, but you can't hack them if they're too protected. Wait, except what about the older ones? The broken ones? Yeah, you could refit the old ones to be obedient to you. Not fix them, you're not a technician or anything, but brainwash them. So you head down into the deep basement, into the, for lack of a better term, the garbage pit underneath the kitchen. You go left, right, left, and then find a trench with some of those wilted alpha bots slouched inside. You climb down into the ridge and start to approach, when suddenly a gaggle of broken staff bots rear up and grab for you. Roll. If you roll even, you dodge. Odd, and you're grabbed and dragged deep into the muddy pit. You're okay. You manage to stop yourself, but their weight is still dragging on you. Roll again. Even, and you get free. Odd, and they pull you even deeper. One last go. Even, and you escape. Odd, and you're dragged underneath and suffocated. Buried forever. Game over. But let's say you got out. Take the failure and leave, or take another shot. If you try to go again, you decide to instead scour the garbage for a lone bot to use. You find an old staff bot and try to hack it, only for it to begin swinging at you. Roll. Even, and you dodge and successfully hack. Odd, and you get clocked and flop into the grime clotting the dump underneath the Pizzaplex. You're definitely going to get sick from that. Okay, no more chances. Failure, you gotta get out of here. But if you succeed, hooray! You have a hacked staff bot of your own. You paint its face with grime and make it look like that gross tentacle puppet that's so popular for some reason. Maybe to intimidate or for brand recognition. Then you wheel your companion out. Congratulations! You have a loyalish Nightmarian staff bot from now on. Oh, wait. What was the way out again? Oh, that's going to be the difference between a success and a failure if you can't tell me. Also, that seemed a little too easy, didn't it? Well, if you have smashed up any of the animatronics at the point of getting this event, they're going to be in this basement with you, and you've got to do a roll with each of them. And if you get even, you escape, and if you get odd, they immediately kill you. How's that? 8. You've bounced around to a couple of Pizzaplexes, and never have you found one where a Glamrock Bonnie and a Montgomery Gator are in perfect working condition and both on stage. The 2 characters are notorious for bugging out and, well, one of them mysteriously disappearing or suddenly being found trashed somewhere. Honey. 5 Glamrocks is a lot to deal with, but Glitchtrap reminds you that if you could get rid of one, the attraction they have will be fully to your disposal, including their security office. After looking at the 2, you decide to shatter Monty because having Bonnie as an ally would fit the brand image a little better. So, you sneak up to the catwalks above Monty Golf through a vent in Mazer size. You find Monty prowling around up there, but he doesn't see you because of the programming block. You dump a bag of L-Chips chips on the catwalk right beside the hurricane hole in one bucket, and then go stand by the dump button. Monty comes over and begins to delicately eat the chips. You slam your fist on the button. Roll. Even, it works. Odd, nothing happens. Okay, so the bucket isn't full. Okay, so you run around to all the golf ball shooters scattered up on the catwalks and fire them into the hurricane hole in one bucket, filling it up. Racing Monty, who's still shoveling in chips. You run back and slam your fist on the button. Even, it works. Odd, still nothing happens. Okay, so the bucket is definitely full now, but it's not dumping. You start fiddling with the wires plugged into the back of the button panel and wiggle them around. Monty's finishing up. He's chewing the crumbs off of his fingers when you try one more time. You slam the button. Even, it works. Odd? Nope. You give up. Monty walks off none the wiser and you leave. It's a failure, but at that point, you did everything you could. Glitchtrap will not be letting this go for a while, though. You'll always be known as the failure that got roadrunnered by Monty Gator. But if you succeed, the bucket swings down and smashes into Monty, knocking down the catwalk and sending him falling to the ground, where he lands on the stage busted and broken. His legs land a few seconds later. Kids who see it are screaming. You scurry away. But luckily something happens in your favor. Some of the kids see you and start saying there was a rabbit on the catwalks. The parents might not pay too much attention to what kids say, but surely the employees might. And the animatronics certainly do. After closing, you sneak over to Bonnie Bull and confront Glamrock Bonnie. You tell him that people saw a rabbit on the catwalks and that they think he was the one behind Monty's shattering, and if he doesn't go along with what you say, you will make sure he takes the fall next. Glamrock Bonnie, terrified of this phantom voice threatening to set him up, agrees to go along with you. Especially if you already have Freddy hacked. You probably don't even have to go this far to get him on your side if you have Freddy hacked. You're able to plug in Glitchtrap, get him infected, and soon have a new puppet to join. Success! And from now on, Glamrock Bonnie is reluctantly in your corner. Though then again, who isn't reluctant? Event number 9. It's no surprise that this whole Vanny thing isn't working out. Whether it's because you're entirely reluctant, incompetent, or just unlucky, you haven't managed to really do anything except create your bunny Sona. Now Glitchtrap is starting every day with a countdown until he busts up your shins, or well, he makes you do it. But if you can't catch a kid, maybe someone else can. You decide to head to Circus Baby's Pizza, a place where kids run away to join the circus and the bear with the round belly smells bad. You sneak in through the back door. It wasn't even locked. Big Top Baby is in the party room performing for some kids, while Primetime Freddy is standing in the corner with a glazed look in his eyes and his stomach hatch sitting wide open. Weird. Well, what's the plan? Do you sneak into the private room and hide under a table, or do you run over and hide in Primetime Freddy? If you decide to go hide in the party room, you scurry in and slip under a table. The long tablecloth hides you well, but the screaming kids hide your arrival even better. They're eating ice cream while Big Top Baby stands on stage and sings to them. You sit there for a while looking for an opening, briefly worrying that maybe you doomed yourself to being stuck there until you're caught. But at some point the kids are drawn out of the room and go hit the arcade. All except one. One little boy stays behind to eat some candy when Baby beckons him over. She pops open her chest and offers him an ice cream cone with an enormous claw. So that's how they've been snatching kids. He takes the ice cream and Baby prepares to grab him. Not on your shift. That's going to be your snatched kid, or Glitchy's gonna smash your toes. You spring out from under the table and make a run to grab the kid. Roll. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you unfortunately trip over your big dumb bunny feet and faceplant into the floor. The boy sees you and starts screaming at your costume, and the next thing you know, parents rush in. But instead of paying attention to the person in a rabbit costume on the floor, the parents notice the huge claw sticking out of Baby's chest, along with a nasty smell likely coming from her inner cavity. Baby, you see, reflexively froze up the moment more than one person entered the room. All of the witnesses locked up her processes, and you manage to roll underneath another table and disappear momentarily. You don't get the kid, but the incident leads to Baby's getting investigated, protests, and eventually the place removing Baby herself off of the stage. This means one less animatronic to deal with when you head back. Glitchtrap gives you a win. Success! If you roll a 4, 5, or 6, you make it and grab the kid, and then begin bolting out of the pizzeria towards the back door. Baby, who is utterly furious in you taking her target, goes after you. She's got roller skates too. You end up having to drop the kid and run for your life. Roll again. Even, you get out the back and escape, as Baby can't follow. But the whole thing backfires spectacularly. Patrons witnessing the scene now think you're the person kidnapping kids and that Baby was saving the day. So now you can't return to Baby's and Baby is being labeled a hero. Just great. Failure. Odd, you feel a real heavy thunk on the back of your head and then funny enough, nothing at all. Game over. If you instead decide to go hide in Primetime Freddy, you rush over and hop inside, pulling the hatch closed where it clicks and seals. For a minute you think this is a devilishly genius place to hide. But then... Uh-oh. Turns out that open bear was actually an open bear trap set to go off when anybody climbed inside. And now Primetime Freddy wants to kill you. And he's not taking any bribes. You have an idea. Maybe if you tell him to try and stab you, you can dodge in time, steal his knife, then use it to pry your way out? It's worth a shot. You say stabbing, and then brace yourself. And then duck and roll. If you roll a 1, 3, 4, or 6, you manage to dodge the blade. It jams into the wall behind you, attached by a mechanical arm. You break the arm and grab the knife and pry your way out of the stomach hatch. And come out of Primetime Freddy into a birthday party full of kids wielding a knife. They all start screaming, parents are panicking, and you hightail it out of there like your life depends on it. You make it out back and flee. What follows is a double-edged sword. You're seen as a cruel prankster and are now being sought out by the cops. And not only that, now people are more primed to believe that these missing children were actually a hoax. But now that the people working at Baby's think you were actively hiding in Freddy, he's been sacked. He'll be in the furnace by sundown. So, well, success. If you roll a 2 or 5, you remember that, oh yeah, this is a killing machine, and are then skewered through. Yeah, no dodging that. The last thing you hear is Primetime Freddy laughing with glee before the world fades to black. He relishes in his newest victim, and then it sinks in. He glitches and sputters, his eyes flickering as the fingers sink into his hardware. Nobody notices that Primetime Freddy is a lot quieter than he used to be, nor that his eyes have turned purple. Such a good follower. On your way out, you brought in the perfect replacement. It's a game over, but I'd consider it a success. Event 10. There's a kid who's been hacking the arcade machines around the Pizzaplex. You only noticed because he's leaving a swear instead of his initials, and now it's at the top of the leaderboards on every game. You didn't care much, but Glitchtrap likes the cut of his jib and wants to lure him in as a possible follower. Depending on how you feel about this situation, this is either great for you, or replacement kinda sucks. Well, whatever. You do what Glitchtrap tells you, so sometime when the kid's alone, you sidle up and offer for him to help you. But he refuses. Not because he's not interested, but because he thinks your bunny suit is stupid. He even takes a picture of you with his stupid little fast cam and laughs at you, the little fiend. But he agrees that he will join you if you can beat him at a game. Well, fine, good. Except he's been acing and hacking these games since he's gotten here. And you don't know how he's been doing it. He'll beat you at any one of them. Except Bonkabon. That's your only chance to beat him at Bonkabon. You let him go first and he gets a moderately good score. But you're hungry. You're a beast at Bonkabon. You pick up the mallets and go. Bonk, 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 and roll. If you roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, all's good and you keep going. Roll a 6 and a mallet flies out of your hand, clunks a kid playing skee-ball nearby, and you end up having to make a run for it. Failure. Otherwise, keep going. You continue to whack, whack, whack the bunnies popping up through the holes, back and forth, back and forth. You see a blue bunny, whack it. You see a pink bunny, whack it. You see a little bunny that looks like Glitchtrap pop up. Do you whack it? If yes, you're suddenly hit with a sharp pain through your head and a crack in your ears. You collapse to the floor and the world goes dark. You wake up at the local jail because you were mistakenly labeled as passed out drunk. Let's just call that a game over. If you didn't whack it, it begins to whisper to you. Only you can hear it. It tells you, tilt, tilt, tilt. It wants you to tilt the machine. Do you not tilt the machine? Do you tilt the machine? Or do you tilt, tilt, tilt the machine? If you do not tilt the machine, the game comes to an end. You fell beneath the kid's score. How? He must have cheated. The kid blames it on your weird bunny suit and leaves. Glitchtrap's going to give you an earful later. hopefully not of hot oil. Failure. If you tilt the machine, you suddenly notice an access panel underneath. There's a bunch of multicolored wires. Not knowing what you're doing, you randomly unplug and reset them before putting the machine back in place. Due to the tampering, the machine now says you have 999 points. The kid is extremely impressed, not by your playing, but how you fixed the machine. He agrees to join your cause. Success! You can decide if Glitchtrap was genuinely interested in taking the kid on or if it was a scam to get another easy victim. You know him better than I do, or you will. Or, finally, if you tilt the machine, you tilt. Oh no, you tilted too far. Crunch. Oh dear. Game over. Event 11. The Pizzaplex has been buzzing recently, so you're told by the boss to go drop in on Nedd Bear's swingin' show and see if you can have some fun there. Unfortunately, you sneak in at the wrong time, as apparently the main Nedd Bear animatronic has frozen up on stage. Nedd, the owner of Nedd Bear's swinging show, no relation, spots you and, believing you're just some costumed weirdo, hires you to perform on stage. Glitchtrap is surprisingly intrigued. He makes a deal with you. Forget the job. If you can do a perfect recreation of his favorite dance on stage in front of all these 11 or so people, he will buy you non-threatening chocolates with the money Nedd's going to give you. Oh boy, you can't say no. So you get up on stage and you start to dance. Instead of the audience, you see a dark void in front of you. Glitchtrap appears and begins to do an awkwardly haunting hollow dance. You try to replicate. Left, right, right, left, kick, shuffle, spin, hop, double hop, and pose. It's really a simple dance if you think about it. Not too hard to learn, though it would be a lot easier if you could see it more than once. Ah, well, what were those steps again? Don't check. Okay, that was left, right, left, kick, shuffle, spin, hop, double hop, pose. Now, if you got none of the moves right, Glitchtrap is furious. I mean, at that point, you should have just lied about it. But you have greatly upset him. He'll never be able to look you in the eyes again. Thankfully, he has an idea, so he never has to. Pop, double pop. Game over. If you get 1 to 7 moves correct, Glitchtrap isn't pleased and deems the whole thing a failure. And not only that, but your dance was so creepy that you've been banned from Nedd Bear's of all places. What a disaster. If you got 8 or more moves correct, but not all of them, Glitchtrap deems it good enough. After all, you couldn't really replicate the real deal, right? Well, it was considered a success. You got some money and chocolates out of it too. If you get every move down pat, wow, that's extremely impressive. What memory, what form. That's a success, double success, take them both. Oh, and Nedd's offering for you to come back and perform anytime. You might be able to use that to your advantage. Event 12. You've finally done it. You managed to find the main server room, which connects to the rest of the Pizzaplex. If you plug your flash drive into here, you'll be able to upload Glitchtrap to the entire building and all the attached staff bots. This is what you want, right? You have no choice either way, so you put in the drive and let him do the rest. Then you log in on the Pizzaplex account that Glitchtrap gave you and go to unlock permissions, giving him full access. Oh, wait a minute. Why are there so many users asking for access? Okay, just choose the one that's obviously Glitchtrap. VIP archive build. I mean, Glitchtrap seems old, right? It must be him. So, you give him permission. And watch everything boot up. A screensaver of flying pizza slices passes by. Then static, it flickers for a second, and then a face pops up. It's a pig. A pig in a suit with glasses.
Well, hello there,
the pig says.
I'd like to thank y'all for letting me out. I've been stuck in here for a long time. My name is Very Informative Pig, but you can call me VIP. Will you be my friend?
Confused, you say yes.
Alright, thank you kindly. It's been a long time since I've been last activated, but that didn't go so well.
He looks sad.
It's not nice when people don't play by the rules.
He perks up.
But you seem pretty nice. Say, I have an idea. how about we play a game? I noticed your little bunny friend you uploaded into the Pizzaplex's mainframe. Looks like the firewall, my firewall, identified him as a threat. That's too bad. But I'll tell you what, if you can win 2,500,400 tickets by morning, I'll let him go. But don't worry, I'll be here to help. Why don't y'all start by heading upstairs to the atrium and we'll begin our game.
For the next 6 hours straight, you play games and do attractions with the very annoying, very irritating pig. Right before opening, he calls you aside.
Well, let's count up those tickets.
There's no way you could have won enough tickets to save Glitchtrap. Thankfully, due to his constant tampering in your mind, you know how to hack machines and inflate some of the numbers. But, did it take? Roll. If you roll a 1 or 4, no, you failed.
Sorry, looks like you're just gonna have to come back tomorrow and try again.
It takes a week to get Glitchtrap back. You almost considered leaving him there, but you could still hear him screaming in the back of your head every time you left. He deems the whole thing a failure. If you roll a 2 or 5, no, but also,
you cheated! What a cruel, cruel person. Well, this is what happens to cheaters in my Pizzaplex.
You hear a deafening scream rattling through your ears.
There you go. I deleted your best friend. Now maybe you'll be more open to being mine.
You don't know what that means, but you feel Glitchtrap's influence leave you. He's dead. He must be. Thrilled, you flee the Pizzaplex and drive back home. You're finally free of the rabbit. And then you notice the very nicely dressed pig sitting in your peripheral vision. Guess you've got a new best friend now.
This is a game over, by the way.
And finally, if you roll a 3 or 6, yes.
What, you won? Wow. Wow, now that's some game playing there. Alright, Slugger, here's your friend back.
Suddenly, Glitchtrap blips back into your vision. He looks haggard. He looks awful.
Now you two get out of here and come back real soon.
So you do. You ask Glitchtrap if that counts as a success. He begrudgingly nods. But unfortunately, the next time you come back, you'll have to deal with VIP again. So it's technically a failure too. Win-lose. That's the end of the events, but like I said, in between every 3 events, you can make an attempt to leave Glitchtrap. You can do this one of 2 ways. Firstly, you can attempt to find a replacement, and if it fails, you won't get any penalty or backlash. Roll 1 to 6, then roll 1 to 6 again. If you can get the same number twice, you find a match and you're off the hook. Unless you have gotten at least 4 failures. In that case, Glitchtrap can see that you're good and threatening and willing, but are just awful at this whole Vanny thing. You'd be a good backup, but he needs a better primary. So if you roll just an even, he'll let you find a replacement, but don't think you're fully off the hook for a while. Otherwise, you can attempt more drastic measures, which would be to sneak back to the arcade where you encountered Glitchtrap, slip inside, activate the game, somehow get in the game using the equipment and abilities he gave you, such as your mask, and play the game. You'll be going through a long, arduous journey, so to not spoil that, let's just do a roll. Roll 3 times. Total has to clock above a 10. If you fail, he'll never forgive you, and what he'll do in retaliation won't be pretty, and it won't be as simple as killing you. Oh no, he'll keep you around for a while. Unless you've gotten at least 4 successes, in which case, he doesn't really want to get rid of you that quickly. He'll forgive it. This one time. But I've threatened you enough, remember Jeremy. So let's get to what happens if you do succeed. You get into the code Beyond the Veil, seeing how the soul stitches into machinery. It's more than ones and zeros. It's 1983, 82, 83, 82, M2, 111. Beautiful, magnificent. And you've finally broken through into the framework, where the haunting begins, deep in the hardware. This core, by the graves of the forgotten and where the Red King watches, is where you may take control, now that you've reached the point where you and Glitchtrap are on the same playing field. Do you remember the code I spelled out? If you do, congratulations, you successfully hacked your way through, and if I find out you cheated, I am climbing in there after you and I am bringing you back. But again, keep in mind that this is just a game. don't think it would be nearly as easy in a real scenario, or possible. It would be silly, downright stupid to risk your skin on a chance that only exists if I give it to you, right? But with that, the game's over. And time to start the real thing. Now I know it's daunting, but I have the utmost faith in you. I know you will be a good bunny. I know you will make a great Vanny. And if you don't, I am going to take your hands and mold you into one cut at a time. So, put the tape player away and let's get to work. Thank you for listening.